Uh, Students are there, I think.
Yes, sir. 43 students are there, and you are live now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I start?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. A very good evening, one and all. So I hope all are fine. So today we are going to discuss, right? So the continuation of the topic of national income. So whatever the topic which we have covered the previous class, right? That is the concept of national income, right? So we discussed that what is the national income, right? So and after that we discussed the concept of the national income, that is the GNP, gross national product, NNP, net national product, GDP, gross domestic product, NDP, net domestic product, right? So after that, there is another important topic we are supposed to discuss, that is what is the private income and what is the personal income and what is the per capita income. So once you can complete it, we learn these topics. After that, we can go for what is the measurement and structure of the national income. That is, what is the measurement and what is the methods of to calculate the national income, right? So already we learned what is the GNP. GNP is gross. So I can take the red pen here. So this is the gross, right? National, right, product. So that is in the definition, the market value of final goods and services produced during an accounting year, including net factor income from abroad. So in the equation, y is equal to c plus I plus g plus NFIA, right? So this equation, maybe if you want to take, you can take the one extra another page, right? So you can write it here. Maybe you can understand easily, right? So because last time I think board is not available at that time, some technical glitches were taking place. So that's why I didn't share this board. So now it is easy to understand that what is the national income concepts, right? One is GNP. So already definition and everything we are discussing. Just here today we are discussing some formulas, right? You can say the equations. So once you can learn this equation, so that you can go for that other topic, that measures and methods of national income. After that continuation, the second chapter will discuss the money concept. Okay. So this is very important for this is important for fourth chapter as well. That's why I just recap all the topics with the board. Okay, so GNP is some of the all the market value of their point which we are highlighted, market value of next final goods and services. याद रखो, ये दो चीज हम फाइनल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज की और मार्केट वैल्यू की GNP के हम लोग कर लेते हैं. सो इसमें हम लोग देखेंगे इक्वेशन में क्या क्या, राइट, कंपोनेंट्स होता है. GNP मतलब ग्रॉस नेशनल प्रोडक्ट. ग्रॉस नेशनल प्रोडक्ट फर्स्ट GDP हम लोग डिवाइड करना है. सो कॉन्सेप्ट हम लोग डिस्कस करना है. देयर आर फोर कॉन्सेप्ट व्हिच फर्स्ट वी हैव टू राइट इट. पहले GNP डिस्कस करेंगे, ये ग्रॉस नेशनल प्रोडक्ट. इसके बाद NNP, नेट नेशनल प्रोडक्ट. आफ्टर दैट GDP और इसके बाद NDP. सो पहले क्लास में हम लोग डिस्कस किया था ये दोनों की डिफरेंसेस से ग्रॉस की नेशनल की, दैट इज द डिफरेंशिएशन, राइट. एंड हियर डिफरेंशिएशन एंड हियर इसकी दोनों की क्या डिफरेंसेस है, NFIA. सो हम इक्वेशंस में बात कर रहे तो हम इधर GDP बोलते हैं. विद इन द डोमेस्टिक कंट्री में क्या क्या प्रोड्यूस होता है, गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. इसमें हम मानेंगे देयर आर टू सेक्टर इन द इनिशियल स्टेज, right? One is the household sector. So maybe some students are asked me to, sir, what is the circular flow diagram? So we are discussing after this concept, we are discussing that measurement and concept, measurement and the methods of national income. At that time, we will discuss that. Okay, in an economy, there are two sectors. One is the household sector, and another one is the farm sector, right? For kind information, what is the this product which we are calculated? and goods and services. Suppose farm sector is the one sector and household sector is the another sector, right? So there are two sectors in the economy in the initial stage. So both are interrelated. So factors of production which are provided by the household sector to the farm sector. This is the factors of productions. What is the factors of production? If you have to write it here, the factors of productions are land, labor, capital, organization. Okay, and the farm sector utilize the factors of production. They can produce the goods and services in the market. Suppose this is the market. Got it? So this is factors of productions. You can say goods and services. Simply say goods and services. So this is what happened within the domestic country. There is another sector, that is the government, GOVT. So whatever the goods and services to produce within the domestic country, that is you can call a GDP. Okay. So what are the components? Even household sector also provide the C component of the C, goods and services, and farm sector also provide I, that is the C plus I, and government sector also provide some services to household sector as well as the farm sector, like subsidies, right? Subsidies. So that is also provide the some goods and services. So goods and services quite different. Goods are shelter, food, shelter, and whatever it is, consumer goods, capital goods, and all. And services provide transport, health, education, and everything. So both goods and services produced within the domestic country. So there is no foreign sector here. This is, you can say, domestic country. That means household sector, farm sector, government sector. So C plus I plus G. Okay, here only these three components which we are taking, we are considered as a national income, or you can say GDP. So what about GNP? The differences GDP, GNP differences is NFIA. What is the NFIA? Net factor income from abroad. What is this? Net factor income from abroad. This is the goods which we are produced to the domestic country from the rest of the countries, from the rest of the citizen. The goods which we are imports, right? Goods and services from the rest of the country. Suppose the goods which we are exports to the rest of the country, we are received the some payments. That what payment? We are exports goods and services. We received some amount, that is you can call payments. So that is called a receipt. Sorry, that is not a payments. This is the imports. Whenever you can import goods and services, we have to pay some payments to the rest of the country. The rest of the country means other countries. Rest of the countries. And receipt. When we are receipt were taking place. Whenever we are exports were taking place. Exports of goods and services to the rest of the country. So we received the some amount from the particular country. So the differences between receipts and payments, that you can call as NFIA. So GNP what? Some of the all the GDP plus NFIA. Got it? What is the GDP? C plus, again here you can write C plus I plus G plus NFIA, that is you can call as national income. So national income equation is this. Got it the point? Next, coming to national income, we know very well. What is the NNP? Gross national depreciation, depreciation. So differentiation, depreciation. So write it same, GNP minus depreciation. What is the depreciation, dear students? Depreciation is in the process of the production of goods and services, some goods and services, or you can say some raw materials is going to, right? Some raw materials going to depreciate it. Depreciation means consumption of fixed capital, you can say. This is, depreciation you can also call consumption of fixed capital. This is the varying at the time of the process of the production, some raw material has to going to depreciate. So gross minus depreciation, we can get net national product. So GNP minus depreciation, NNP. GNP already we know this, C plus I plus D plus NFIA minus D. This is the NNP. Okay. Next, coming to GDP हो गया, NDP. NDP what? GDP minus depreciation. Depreciation already we discussed here. So GDP means C plus I plus D minus depreciation. Clear this concept, dear students? So now we understand this concept. What is the national income is? What is the different concepts of the national income? Right? Is it clear? Now we are going to other concept too in the national income. Not only this concept, some other concept we need to discuss that. Okay. Suppose our other concept are, one is private income. Already, anyway, we are discussing at the time of methods and methods of the national income, but some concept: private income, private disposable income, or private income, and also private disposable income, and per capita income, right? These are the some concepts we supposed to learn. Suppose we are discussing here some concept of the national income, right? These are the concepts already we know that. What is the private income generally, or you can say that private income, or you can say that personal income. Okay, suppose here this is also you can call private income or PER, personal income. We need to learn this concept as well. Okay, what is the personal income? What is the personal income? Suppose you go to confuse, leave it this private income. You can discuss in first personal income. What is the personal income? Personal income is defined sum of all kinds of incomes received by the individuals. Incomes received by the individuals. Some of all the kinds of income means whatever the sources which you are received, right? Different all kinds of sources means whether either you can receive from the salaries, wages, whatever it is you are provide the services on the economy, and after that undistributed profits and SP. What are the components in the private income is? Suppose you can write it here. What are the components of private income? NNP already we know, that is the NNP is where you can say that the net national product. Okay, so with the previous one which we are supposed to hear, where we are. Yeah, suppose here. So this is what NDP. This is what NNP. Just I forgot it here. So NNP is right one component which we are called as right national income. Actually, national income. Here there is some concept also we need to discuss. Okay, why you can say not only NNP. This is what there is a differences in the one is the market price. We need to discuss this. One is the market cost, and another one is factor cost. Generally, NNP at factor cost, NNP at factor cost, we can call right national income actually. What is the NNP at factor cost? NNP means we know very well. This is the NNP, right? NNP at factor cost we can call national income. Why you can say? Because in the market price factor cost, the differences between this market price factor cost is net indirect taxes. What is this indirect net indirect tax? IT minus subsidy. IT what? Indirect taxes. Indirect taxes and subsidies. There is a part of in the process of the production calculate the national income. So what is this FC factor cost? Factor first we need to understand the market price. If you are talking about the GNP at market price, dear students, we are talking about GNP at market price. In the market price, what is the market price? The price, right, which we are selling at the time of the right market at the market, right? The price selling at the level of the price, that you can call it market. That means in the market, whatever we are selling, that is you can call market price. In the market price, what was including, what was excluding? Because indirect taxes are taking place in the process of the production. After production of the goods and services, we have to pay some tax to the government, right? Whatever the goods and services we produce, and you have to receive some subsidies from the government. Suppose here the government has to give in the subsidies to household sector as well as the farm sector. Already we discussed. So subsidies which we are taken at the time of the process. So factor cost what? The final value before the marketing. Okay, whenever the process of the production, this is the whenever the household sector and they produce the factors of production, farm sector produce the production here before the market. Here this is say you can say factor cost were taking place, and here market cost will taking place. Okay, so in the factor cost, what was including indirect factor cost may indirect taxes are excluded and subsidies are included. Why? Because after the production of the process, completion of the production of the process, we have to pay some tax, indirect taxes. The tax in the form of the income tax in the form of the corporation tax, the assets and the organization and all income tax. These two taxes were taking place both household sector and farm sector. So indirect tax is taking place because you have to pay that, you may have to minus, you have to negative that, you have to exclude that. And subsidies which we are including are subsidies we have to receive from the government. So that we must have to include. So in the factor cost, indirect taxes are excluding, subsidies are including. Coming to in the market price. In the market price, GNP at market price means here plus IT minus subsidy. Why? Because in the market price already we pay the tax, that we must have to including. So that's why plus IT. Subsidies what? Oh, the subsidies were already we received at the time of the factor cost. In the market price, that we must have to exclude. Okay, so IT minus subsidy, that is the market price. Differences between factor cost and market price is IT minus subsidy. Okay, and NNP at market price is this plus IT minus subsidy. GDP at market price equals to GNC plus I plus G plus IT minus subsidy. NDP same plus IT minus subsidy. But in the case of factor cost, next we are taking just a minute. So in the case of GNP at factor cost we want. So here GNP market price minus IT plus subsidy. So C plus I plus D, right, minus IT plus subsidy in the case of factor cost. So if you want to know the NNP at factor cost equals to GNNP MP market price minus depreciation. How you can get this is GNP market price minus depreciation. Okay, this is minus IT plus subsidy. Same here, minus IT plus subsidy. Same. So GNP MP means E plus I plus D minus D. Sorry, here NFIA also it is included. You can include here NFIA because GNP are talking NFIA. This is not a GDP. Okay, so here NFIA is also included plus NFIA because this is supposed to write it here, dear students. Okay, don't confuse here. इसके बाद ये लिखेंगे आप. ठीक है, C plus I plus G minus plus NFIA I can write it. ठीक है, this is the equation actually national income. NFIA minus depreciation minus IT plus subsidy. This is what? This is the national income. Because of this, I again discuss this again all the concept. National income. National income you can also call as NNP or factor cost. You can call national income. This is what we are supposed to discuss. I hope it is clear. Okay. Now coming to point. So when we are discussing personal income, this is the NNP. Okay. So in the NNP, right? NNP में क्या क्या होता है? Private income होता है. That including the private income and undistributed profit, SPU, RDP. But if we want to know the personal income, NNP minus UDP, right, plus SPU plus RPP. I can write it why it is. Okay, RPP. What is this UDP? What is this SPU, RPP? So in the NNP you can call NNP what? NNP में private income plus UDP plus SPU plus RPP. Okay, so here you can look at it. So NNP means this इसमें include होता है. अगर आपको प्राइवेट इनकम चाहिए तो प्राइवेट इनकम चाहिए, इसमें ये सारा निकालने पड़ता है. UDP and SPU, RPP. तो ये क्या क्या है? UDP means undistributed profit. Undistributed company profit. Company profit. UDP equals to, okay, SPU what? This is the SPU, surplus of public undertaking. Surplus of public undertaking. Okay. Next, RPP. RPP what? Rentals of public properties. Rentals of public properties. Okay, dear students, now you can understand that. So in the national income, these all are including this PI, private income. So national income means private income, private income, right? This private income plus this undistributed company profit, surplus of public undertaking, and RPPT. If you want to know the private income, this one, private income, in the private income, we need to uh, exclude, this is minus not plus, okay? You must have to write UDP minus this, all these things, minus, right? PI minus UDP, SPU, RPP. That is the personal income. What is it simply say? Whatever you received, whatever you getting, all the income from the different sources, not in personal income. Personal income minus, right? Personal income plus whatever you receive the other distributed profits and surplus of public undertaking, rentals of the public right undertaking. These all are different sources from the income actually. Under distributed company profit means whenever you are taking any kind of entrepreneurship or any project, any kind of companies, you get the some profit to profit. Okay, that is undistributed. It is not counted in the national income. That is personal income only. Okay, and surplus of public undertaking. So sometimes you government also receives some kind of income, other sources, public enterprise sources. That is also part of the public income. Okay, so sometimes each and every person has to receive the some benefit from the public undertaking. Rentals are public, you can say that public properties, right? So whatever the income received government, different public undertaking properties or the assets, that is you can get the each and every individual person through some subsidies and whatever you are getting. So that must have including along with personal income. That is national income. This is the national income, right? National income, personal income plus all this. So if you want to PI, personal income, so NNP minus all these. Minus means this UDP plus SPU plus RPP. So NNP minus this, you can get the private income. That's what we are discussing. Next, private disposable income. What is the disposable income? Disposable income you can get, right, after you can after you can pay the some taxes from personal income. So PI minus, you know the personal income. This is the personal income. Personal income minus direct taxes. Direct taxes. That is you can call as private disposable income. Okay. Directly I can arrange here. You can arrange this one. So this private disposable income is private income minus direct taxes. Okay. So direct taxes means we know very well. Sales tax, succession tax, whatever other sources too. Okay, got it the point? So this is the private disposable income. Private income, private disposable income. Next, now we are discussing that per capita income. This is very important. After that, you can go for measures and measures of national income. Per capita income. Okay. So what is the per capita income? Per capita income you can obtain, right? So whatever you can receive total national income upon by total population. Per capita income you can obtain from national income upon by total income. What is the national income? GNP factors upon by total population. Total income नहीं है, ये total population. Correct it. Total population. So per capita income per person income. Suppose per person income 28,000 rupees now. Example I can say. Okay. So this is the PCA. National income is quite different. Okay, 78,000 something some rupees, crore rupees. Per capita per person income 28. That is how you can calculate it. National income upon the total population. Got it the point? So now we are discussing that important topic that is the measures and methods of national income. Methods, measures, measures of national income. This is very important concept. After that, you can go for other topic. Okay. Today we are completing this concept. So what are the measures? We are already discussed all these concepts. How you can measure these components? You can measure methods. There are three components actually, or there are three alternative methods. What is the measurement? We are always discussing that this is the measurement. What is the measurement? MEASUREMENT. What is the measurement? Measurement is a crucial part of scientific study. Scientific study. Why you are measured? Why you are measured the any variable macroeconomic variable? Because this is the macroeconomic. Why you are measured? Because this measurement is essential for making a new decision making a discoveries, and making competitive theories, and predict future events and trends. Predict future, right, trends, future trends. This is very, very important. Predict the future trends. How you can predict? Because before 19 COVID, right, COVID 2019, what is the GDP growth? Was around 9%, 10% also we are getting. Now, during the period of COVID-19, before COVID, and during the period of COVID, there is a negative growth, minus 2.4, 2.3. Now it is okay, 7.1 GDP growth rate according to 2022 latest data. Suppose. So how you can say? You can say, or you can measure the values, the fluctuations, the trends, growth of the GDP, the trends and the growth of the GDP before an independence period, before COVID-19 and after COVID-19, what is the GDP growth is? How you can say this is measured? We are measured, and that means predict the future value, future trends, or discover the theories, evaluating the trends and whatever it is. So that's why measurement is required for any macroeconomic variable. So coming to the point, in the national income concept, right? So national income data facilitate the formulation of the plans and fixing the targets of development. Why it is required? National income is, right, the data facilitation. Data facilitation. Consider data facilitation, right? Facilitate the formulating, right, of formulation of, you can say formatting of plans, format of plans, and fixing and fixing the targets of the development. Fixing the targets of the development. That means what is the required of this measurement? The data which we are taking, the national income data, right, to facilitate formulating the plan of fixing the development of the facts. The plan. That means what is our target? Target is 10%, but we are achieved 7.1%. What it is everything is the plan for the future development of the country. Why you are future targeting? Because we are the country, developing country. Why you are developing country? We can call because our national income is whatever you are compared to other countries. Our country national income is very less. What is other countries? Other countries are developed countries. Developed countries like Japan, Singapore, right? Switzerland. These are the countries are developed countries. Why they are developed? National income is more. Other factors are more compared to developing countries. Developed countries have more national income. So that's why we want to measure what is the measurement measures of the national income. So measurement is more important for to process of the future development of country. Got it the point? Coming to the point. What are the methods which we are right taking place? What are the methods to calculate the national income? So we are talking about in Indian context, so that we can discuss in GDP. Simple is there, not anything. Methods to calculate the GDP. What are the methods to calculate the GDP? So national income of the country can be measured in three alternative ways. There are three, right? There are three types of ways to calculate. Calculate, you can say. One is as a flow of, right, as a flow of goods and services, as a flow of goods and services. Okay, dear student, note out somewhere in your pen or whatever you are taking any kind of devices. Okay, second method which we are calculate the GDP is as a flow of right, income. You can calculate the or measure the national income on the basis of as a flow of goods and services, on the basis of as a flow of income, and third is C is as a flow of expenditure. Expenditure. So there are three alternative ways you can calculate the national income. That is as a flow of, right, goods and services, and as a flow of income, and as a flow of expenditure. This is you can also call as a flow of goods and services. You can also call product method. And as a flow of income, you can also call this is income method. Next, as a flow of expenditure, this is you can call as expenditure method. method. What is the point? Right. First, one by one. So for simple understanding purpose, we need to know what is the way to can calculate the flow of goods and services. See, so in this case, the circular flow diagram again we need to discuss. I think if you have any doubt, in the end of the class, 10 minutes, we will take that doubt classes. Okay, doubt clearance. Okay. So first I can complete the concept, then after that you can take the doubts. Next, now uh, we are discussing about, right, what is the flow of goods and services. So now you can take another sheet, so that you can understand easily. Okay, just a minute. Yeah. Suppose we need to discuss that the product approach measuring the GDP. Okay. So in the initial, yes, as a flow of goods and services. So here circular flow of goods and services. Goods and services. According to this circular flow diagram, we can measure, we can understand how you can calculate the national income. Suppose the first is, right, what is the circular flow? The flow was taking place, all the variables from one sector to another sector, that is circular flow. CIRCU, circular LAR, ELUR, okay, circular flow of goods and services. Suppose in the initial stage already we discussed that there are two sectors in the economy, right? One is the household sector, another one is farm sector, right? So household sector, one of the factors of production. Two factors of production, one of the factors of production are household sector. The household sector has to provide services to farm sector. This is what services of factors of production. Services of factors of production. On the form of dear students, on the form of land, labor, capital, organization, right? So the farm sector utilize that services to produce the some production in the market. This is the market. Okay. What is the farm sector provide the goods and services. Here you can say goods and services. So the household sector has to purchase that. Got it? So what is the circular flow here? What taking place? Household sector provide the services, right, to the farm sector. Farm sector utilize that services to produce the production. What is that? Goods. They can produce the goods. So goods and services are circular to one sector to another sector. So here we can calculate it all the goods and services. What is the point? So that's why this method you can call as product method. Product method. So first method is the product method, which we are calculated the national income from all the sources of the market value of final goods and services produced during an accounting year. We already discussed the definition. Now you can understand. According to product method, okay, product method you can also known as another name, that is value added method. What is the point? So how you can measure? Product approach is measured. I can discuss in detail in this product method. Product approach defines the nation gross domestic product, the market value of all final goods and services produced during an accounting year. So in this equation, what is the main point which we are highlighted? One is market value. Another one is newly produced goods and services, and another point which we are highlighted, final goods and services. Dear students, this point which we need to understand, then you can go through the steps to, right, calculated the steps in the estimation of estimation of national income or GDP by product approach. So the definition is, first we need to understand the definition. What the definition? The market value of all final goods and services produced in an accounting year. Right. What is the market value? The market value means the goods and services counted in GDP at their market value. Market value means that is the prices at which they are sold. The prices, right, at which They are sold. That is at market. When it is sold at the market, the price at which they are sold, that is called as market. That only you are calculating. You cannot calculate it, the factor cost, whatever it is, other sources too. Okay, and another point is you must have to produce, must have to calculate it newly produced goods and services. That means GDP include the GDP goods and services are newly produced within the current period. Within the current period. Current period. What is the current period and base period? We need to understand. Current period means according to 2022. Okay, what is the goods and services? What is the national income is? What is the accounting year? Generally, in an economy, accounting year is 31st March to 1st April in every year. This is accounting year you can call. This is you can call as accounting year. So 2022 March 31st to April 1st 2023 तक इतना प्रोडक्शन हम लोग कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं, वही हम फाइनल नेशनल इनकम में एस्टिमेशन में करते हैं. हम कोई भी इसमें इंक्लूड करना और कोई भी न्यूली प्रोड्यूस किया है उसी ईयर में उसी मंथ में क्या क्या प्रोड्यूस किया वही कैलकुलेट करते हैं. मतलब अब मान लो बिफोर मार्च की पहले इतना प्रोडक्शन वर्क हम लोग प्रोड्यूस किया है वो इसी करंट ईयर की नेशनल इनकम में काउंटिंग नहीं होती. सो न्यूली प्रोड्यूस्ड गुड्स ओनली वी आर कैलकुलेटेड. दैट इज व्हाट टेकिंग प्लेस. वो वाला हम लोग लेंगे अकॉर्डिंग टू द बेस ईयर. दैट इज द कांस्टेंट प्राइस. कांस्टेंट प्राइस. There are two concepts which we are every day you are observed in the newspaper or whatever it is. GNP, GDP you can say, suppose GDP constant price and GDP, right, current price. Current price means 2022 base year period. Constant price means accounting base year. GDP national income base year is 2011 to 2012. Earlier it was 2004 to 2005 actually base year. But sometimes there is any competitive exam they can ask what is the national income base year. Base year right now the base year is 2011 and 12. Okay, earlier it was 2004 and 5. So if you are calculated the current price, so that you can take the 2022 price only. If you are calculated according to the constant price, that is 2011-12 prices is. According to that price, you can calculate it, that you can call as constant price. But here we are talking about current year only. Current year means 22 March to April 1st तक इतना हम लोग प्रोड्यूस किया वही हम लोग अकाउंट नेशनल इनकम में काउंट करता है. ठीक है, नाउ इट इज क्लियर. According to this product method, we are calculated the market value of goods and services produced, newly produced goods and services, that is final goods and services. In the process of the production, raw material which we are using, okay, raw material can also call intermediary goods. Intermediary goods, just a minute, can is some point. Yeah, intermediate goods and final goods. What is the intermediate goods and what is the final goods? Intermediate goods are the goods which we are using at the time of the process of the production raw materials. That is the infrastructure, house, and any kind of raw materials. So that is the intermediate goods. Intermediate goods are the goods that is not in the process of the production. You cannot calculate that national income. But final goods are the goods, the final production for the further production. That is going to calculate in the national income. Okay, final goods only we are calculated. Got it? So what are the steps to calculate the productive method that we need to learn here? Okay, so what is the, yeah, we have done 10 minutes, right? So what is the steps to calculate the national income? Suppose in this case, maybe if you go for some material like, just a minute, if you go for that book, Abel Vernon K book, okay, in the Abel Vernon K book, maybe if you have that soft copy, you just go through it. That is the referred book in the first page, okay. First chapter, first unit, first chapter. So this is the book. So in this book, it is clearly mentioned that, right? So here, just a minute. Yeah. So this is the book, Abel Bernanke Crusher book. So here in this unit, it is detailed discussed actually. Just a minute. Sometimes. Yeah. Up to that time we discuss it here. Okay. So what are the steps to can calculate the national income according to productive method? So first step is yeah. I can take the another sheet, maybe some kind of yeah. Yeah, here we are discussing that steps to measure the national income. Like when we are struggling, तो ऑनलाइन में यही प्रॉब्लम आता है बच्चा थोड़ा सा पेशेंस रखना जरूर है दिस काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम मैं ये वाला बंद करता हूँ एक बार कई बार इसकी वजह से ना आई थिंक मेरा स्क्रीन विजिबल राइट यस इट इज विजिबल सो लुक एट हियर so in this able Gannan book right what are the methods to can calculate the national income this is the second chapter the first unit second chapter the title of the chapter is also here if you follow the proper book they will be according to the Delhi University right so this is the measurement and structure of the national whatever we are discussing now so measurement is the crucial part of scientific study and we discussed there are three different methods that is the product method and income method and expenditure method so product method which we have started here so according to product method we divided this is the product approach to measure the economic activity the value added of any producer is the value or its output minus value of inputs okay according to this method if you understand easily here gross domestic product you can measure according to this product approach is so here the market value of final goods and services newly produced within a nation during a fixed period of time so market value what market value is the price at which they are sold okay next newly produced goods and services newly produced goods and services means as a measure of the current economic activity newly produced current economic activity means March 31st 2022 to April 1st 2023 तक इतना एक्टिविटी होगा वही हम लोग कैलकुलेट करेंगे वही करंट इनकम आता है ठीक है इसके बाद हम फाइनल गुड्स एंड सर्विस बात कर रहे हैं फाइनल गुड्स एंड सर्विस में बात करने में it is shows that whatever you have produced the goods and services at the time of final process of the goods and services that means what is the intermediate goods before there is intermediate goods are the goods they used up in the production of the other goods and services okay used up in the production of the other goods and services that is you can call raw materials like example the trucking company that delivers the flour to bakery provides intermediate services suppose the flour that is produced then used to make bread flour means you can use some kind of color maybe milk the milk which we have produced milk is not a final good sometimes milk is a intermediate good the milk it is produced some goods like cake sweet and any kind of goods which we have produced so what is the final good final good is cake final good is whatever you have produced the any good so that is the final good intermediate goods are the good you cannot including in the national income so what is the final goods and services final goods and services are the goods the production of a process ma'am hello Lalita is say something I think Lalita Gupta okay anyway so dear students final goods and services you must have to count it according to the method so here the process which we are discussing and also you need to use net factor income from abroad as well okay so this is what we are taking the according to expenditure method sorry according to product method okay the steps which we are taking these are the steps next second approach is expenditure approach is the approach to calculate the GDP as the total spending on final goods and services produced within a nation during a specific period of time that means expenditure were taking place both household sector farm sector as well as government sector and net export. This is all in the form of the expenditure. So what is the equation? Y is equal to C plus I plus G plus NX. So this is what according to the this expenditure approach national income identity. So this national income identity is same for each and every method. Y is equal to C plus I plus G plus NX. Okay. So this is the one table which we are understanding what is the expenditure on different. See the components of the expenditure is consumer durable, non-durable goods, services, gross private domestic income, government purchase goods and services, net export. These all are the components in terms of the $billion, in terms of the percentage. Okay, and components which we are discussing next chapter, fourth chapter we discuss. Okay, and income approach. The income approach which we are discussing same Y is equal to C plus I plus G. There is the expenditure form, and here we are talking about income. What are the income sources are? There are 8 types of the income sources. That is compensation of employee. That is, you can say salaries, wages, and all these things. Properties income. Properties income, whatever you have asset, that is also income. And the rental income of the person. Corporate profits. These all are the some sources of the national income. Personal income. So according to national income, so we can calculate these 3 methods. So this is what we are discussing, these 2 topics. So coming class, we are discussing that another topic, another unit, that is the money concept. Now we are go to not money, money concept we will discuss next class. After that, inflation, last chapter which we are discussing, classical theory and new classical theory. Okay, I stop the class now. Now I am going to discuss any questions or any kind of queries and all. So please drop your messages here Q&A. So Q&A में आपका कोई डाउट है तो पूछ लीजिए, मैं इसकी मैं आंसर करता हूँ, कोई डाउट है तो मैं डिस्कस करता हूँ, ठीक है. So if you have any doubt, please drop question here so that I can handle it. Okay, I can clear that doubts, whatever it is. And if you want, you can discuss here. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Mohit ji. Yeah. Please provide the question and answers. If they are allowed to, they can ask any question and answers.
अच्छा, क्वेश्चन आंसर के लिए एक मिनट सर, अभी कर.
Sorry मैम.
सर इसमें ना स्टूडेंट्स आपसे क्वेश्चन आंसर चैट के थ्रू पूछ सकते हैं. यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन क्यों एक ऑप्शन बना हुआ है ना, उसके थ्रू पूछ सकते हैं सर.
हाँ, मैं वही ओपन किया था अभी एक्चुअली. हाँ, अभी आ रहा था.
हाँ, आ गया सर.
अभी आ गया. पहले था ना कर्सर हो रहा था. ठीक है सर. स्क्रीन इज ब्लर. ओके, प्लीज प्रोवाइड द डिजिटल वर्जन ऑफ रेफरेंस बुक. सो बच्चा, डिजिटल वर्जन में हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं तो एक ही हमारा SOL का एक है, वो उसमें मटेरियल मिल जाएगी. ठीक है, SOL में मटेरियल आप क्लिक कर लो, वो मिल जाएगी, PDF और सब मटेरियल वगैरह. सो इसके अलावा मैसेजेस आया है. जूम पर क्लास अटेंड नहीं सकता है. हाँ, एक बच्चा पूछा है NNP एट मार्केट प्राइस इक्वल्स टू NDP एट मार्केट प्राइस प्लस NFIA. अभी गुप्ता ये क्वेश्चन आप पूछा है. NNP एट मार्केट प्राइस होता है, ठीक है, ये नेशनल इनकम है. ठीक है. सो NNP मार्केट प्राइस इज इक्वल टू NDP एट मार्केट प्लस NFIA. ये एग्जैक्टली करेक्ट. सो डोमेस्टिक इनकम प्लस NFIA, दैट इज नेशनल इनकम. So market price equal, there is no problem. You are right. Abhi Gupta, NNP at market price equals to NDP at market is right. Exactly, plus NFIA. Okay. Yeah. Next, some students ask the question. National income is equals to NDP at factor cost plus NFIA. हाँ, NDP at factor cost plus NFIA. NFP. Yeah, right. You are right. NNP, that is NNP at factor cost. But NNP at factor cost में you must have to mention that IT subsidies. This is not exactly correct, but you need to add that the factor cost हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं तो ओके, तो बिल्कुल आप इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस सब्सिडीज इंक्लूड करना पड़ता है बेटा. ठीक है बेटा. इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस, सो मार्केट प्राइस में है तो इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस इंक्लूडिंग होता है, सब्सिडीज एक्सक्लूडिंग होता है. फैक्टर कॉस्ट में इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस, मार्केट प्राइस में इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स इंक्लूडिंग होते हैं, सब्सिडीज एक्सक्लूडिंग होते हैं. फैक्टर कॉस्ट में इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स एक्सक्लूडिंग होते हैं, सब्सिडीज इंक्लूडिंग होते हैं. ये थोड़ा सा आप क्लियर कर लो. नेक्स्ट, पर्सनल इनकम इक्वल्स टू प्राइवेट इनकम कॉर्पोरेट टैक्सेस. यस, यू आर राइट. एग्जैक्टली. अभी नेक्स्ट, अभी गुप्ता सारा क्वेश्चन पूछा है. ठीक है. PDI कंजप्शन सेविंग. यस, PDI इज कंजप्शन प्लस सेविंग. यस, यू आर राइट. एंड सम स्टूडेंट्स आर आस्किंग सर GDP समझा एक बार. मैं समझा दिया बेटा. GDP के लिए बहुत बार समझा दिया. GDP होता है ये डोमेस्टिक इनकम ही. डोमेस्टिक इनकम मतलब इतना प्रोडक्शन होता है विद इन द डोमेस्टिक कंट्री में, like a household sector, farm sector, government sector, all the process of the goods and services are taking place in the only within the domestic country. There is no rest of the country were added. Okay बेटा. So domestic country होता है सिर्फ हमारे कंट्री में क्या क्या प्रोडक्शन होता है वही हम लोग काउंट करता है. दैट इज GDP. अगर बाहर वाला हम इंपोर्ट्स किया कुछ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज, रॉ मटेरियल, वो इंक्लूड करने की वजह से वो GNP होता है. दैट इज NFIA. If you include the NFIA, net factor income from abroad, so that is GNP, gross national product. Okay. Yeah. Production method 3, expenditure method. Yes, there are 3 methods: expenditure method, income method, and product method. ठीक है बेटा. और इसके अलावा क्वेश्चन से सर प्लीज टेक क्लास इन हिंदी. या बीच बीच में मैं हिंदी में भी डिस्कस करता हूँ बेटा, कोई बात नहीं. So what is the GDP deflated? Yes, Very good. Who is asking? Shivani. Dear student, actually our time is not permit. Only 1 hour is very difficult. So anyway, I can discuss the topic. That is a GNP depleter, GDP depleter. Okay. So what is the depleter actually? Depleter is PIN in the chosen year upon by 100 actually. Why you are using this depleter? Depleter is the factor used to convert nominal GDP to real GNP. Okay, so real GNP and nominal GNP. What is the nominal GNP? What is the real GNP? Nominal GNP, nominal GNP means nominal income. Nominal income on the basis of right current base period, current price period. You can calculate it. That is nominal income. Sometimes nominal income converted to real income, right? So how you can convert it on the basis of this depleter, actually, GNP depleter. So the GNP depleter is the value of the price index numbers to chosen year to the price index of the particular choosing year. That is the GDP depleter. Again, I repeat, the value of the price index number to chosen the year to the price index number of the base year. Price index number base year, just you can keep it your mind. That is the GDP depleter. So this is you can use the measurement as to convert the GNP to GDP. Sorry, GNP to real GNP, nominal GNP to real GNP. In that case, you can use this what GDP depleter. Okay, better. Very good question. So yeah, we are supposed to discuss, but time is very less. Hindi as well. Okay, okay, better. Hindi, English both are you are taking. I understand very well in your class. Thank you very much. Yeah. So this is the questions. I think most of the questions were I answered. Thank you, dear students. Okay. Thank you very much. So if you have any doubt, please text the message here. Anonymous, sir, you are the best teacher. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions, sir? Please take class in Hindi as well as English. Okay, बेटा. मैं कोशिश करता हूँ English Hindi दोनों. Okay. Thank you, one and all. I hope you enjoy the class. Again, we have class on 22nd. So at that time, if you have any, suppose this nominal real GDP and other price index, this concept, anyway, we'll discuss the inflation and the money concept. At that time, we'll discuss. Okay, don't worry. Next time, we are discussing that money concept. Okay, money and inflation after that. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, one and all.
Okay, thank you, sir. Can I end your class?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you, sir.